To answer your question, I'm going to go over overtime for both sports. For soccer, it is a 3-minute overtime period, sudden death. They score in that 3 minutes, game's over. If nobody scores in that, we go to a penalty kick or a shootout. So if we're in men's or women's, it's 5-on-5. And then we go to 1-to-1 if it's tied after 5. If it's co-rec, it's 5 shooters alternating gender. Doesn't matter if they have 3 females or 3 males shooting. We alternate the gender. So if one team has 3 females they want to shoot and the other one has 3 males, the females go over here first, males go over here first. If we're tied after that, we take 5 again. It can be the same 5, it can be a different 5. The reason for that is because we want to keep that the gender part of that even. So that's why we do that. Flag football, we play just like college, except we start at the 10, and you have 4 downs to score a touchdown.
Start at the 10?
Start at the 10, not the 20.
Okay, what was that?
Well, as long as you made it the same for each team. But we start at the 10, and we go, we have 4 downs. If for whatever reason something happens and they get pushed way back, and then they have an automatic first down, it is always the goal line to gain. Always the goal line to gain in overtime. If they go for their try, they have to go for a try. Unless the other team didn't score in the previous one, then if they score, they win. They can go for 1, 2, or 3. Doesn't matter which one they go for. It's not in the second or third overtime that we have to go for 2 and then so on and so forth. No, they can always go for 1. So remember that. If we go to overtime, each get possessions, we flip them. Second overtime, flip them back to the third, and so on and so forth. So if I play offense the first overtime, I play defense first in the second overtime. And then I'd play offense first in the third overtime and defense first in the fourth overtime. As I said, good officials don't go to overtime. Make sure you don't go to overtime. Just kidding. But if you happen to go there, that's what you have to do. So it's just a little bit different.
The other team they should have not gotten it.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
Good. What you need?
Isn't there a meeting today?
Yeah, you hanging out? Cool. Sit down. Have your seat. So that's the overtime rules. I feel like I'm in your way. The supervisors should know this, and it should be in the rules that we have posted online. But just remember that. If you're like, I'm not sure, just make it consistent for both. So that's what we need. All right. So, as usual, this slide rarely ever changes. It did a little bit here. Flag football, we'll get a quiz that is due. They'll get a quiz tomorrow that is due on the 6th. The schedule will come out sometime Friday. I forgot when Ryan posted it. I think this past week it came out in the afternoon. So it happens. Just watch for it. The schedule that we have next week is flag football is Monday to Thursday. And soccer, you are done on Tuesday. So, you in the wrong meeting?
That was a supervisor meeting.
No. So I put you on here because if you want to stay and get paid, stay and get paid. And learn something.
In 30 minutes.
No, well, then you have fun down there. Time off requests are still available for soccer next week. If you are working, I don't know who it is because I haven't made up the schedule. All of the subs will come through me because we're in semifinals and finals. If you're working flag football, we're on as usual. Again, this information hasn't changed. Remember the weather hotline. We haven't canceled for rain in a long, long time. Lightning, but not rain. So if it does get cold, wet, damp, be ready. Bring your stuff. Be ready to, bless you, be ready to officiate. All right, so I worked when I was out at the fields last Thursday, we had confusion about field setup and how it was supposed to be done, or the most efficient ways to be done. So I sat and thought about this. If you have a different way that you think works better, by all means, please let me know. So when you work soccer, the biggest thing that you need to do, the first thing you do is clock in because I want you to get paid to set up my fields. Second thing you do is go put your stripes on, put your stuff on the shelves. And you can get your cards at that time, but you don't have to. Then you go get your corner flags. There should be 2 of you there. When you walk out, put one corner flag down, walk the other corner flag, put that down, move that goal down. And the sandbag should be out from the supervisors. If not, go grab 2 sandbags, put 2 on the back bar. How long do you think that should take you?
5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes. So all right, you do that, move the goals. If they're not making you watch the weekly updates that I send out, because not many of you are, ask them about it. If they're like, hey, don't worry about it, send me an email. I got on my supervisors last week about not watching this.
About what?
The weekly video updates that I send out every Monday. If they're not showing you those pre-shift, I need to know about that. Because I sat out there and watched 4 crews go out and 4 crews didn't watch it. I had a pretty civil but not so nice conversation with our supervisors working that night. I don't put time and effort into them for them not to do it. You should watch it ahead of time, but you should also bring questions if you have any. They're usually quick hitters trying to get you in less than 3 minutes. Then you get your game cards and away you go. You should be out at your fields about 5 minutes before the start of the game. Now, for those of you that work soccer, am I wrong in how you should set this field up in the most efficient way? The key thing is you need to be there on time. Some of you in flag football and soccer are riding the clock, meaning you're there at 5:30 for a 5:45 shift, or you're there at 6 for a 6:15 shift. In the past, I would change that time. This year, I've let it slide a little bit. So be there about 15 minutes to 20 minutes before the game starts. You're scheduled 15 minutes before the game starts. You show up at 20:25 till your game starting. I'm fine. But just make sure that we start games on time. So in the effort of not leading flag football out, I have also come up with what I think is the most efficient way to set up flag football. You laugh, I've set flag football up by myself in 10 minutes. So I know it's possible. So what you do for flag football is, again, clock in, get your stripes, put them on, tuck them in. You can get to flags, bean bags if you want, but typically you don't have to do that. 2 officials grab the yard markers for each sideline. They should be stacked goal, 20, 40, 20, goal. Should be 5 of them. If I'm working and Bruce is working, he grabs one sideline, I grab the other. Jude will grab the pylons, Quentin will grab the pylons for the other ones. It's as simple as me walking up, goal, 20, 40, 20, goal, and then I walk back to the building. You've got one end zone, all 4 corners, and the 2 that go off the hash mark. Again, how long do you think that should take 4 people to set up? Less than 5 minutes, because you have to walk one sideline or walk to an end zone and come back. You should not be on a gator with the supervisor setting these up. I have yelled at my supervisors again last week for this, because that's not their job, that's your job. Now, if you show up 20, 25 minutes early, go ahead and start setting up your field. It's not my expectation that you set up the other field. So if you do set your field up and it's ready to go, perfect. Watch the weekly update, get the game card, out we go. We've been fairly good about ending on time. I just want to make sure we start on time. I get there's a lot of commotion going on in the office. If you know how to clock in, you just simply click clock in, 850 your number, click officials, and then go get your stuff. Hey, I'm here. I'm going to go start setting up my field. They shouldn't have to worry about you being there. If you're not there on time, that's when they start worrying. For my flag officials, am I missing something? I know this isn't something we went over in the classroom. It is something that we went over during training right before we started shifts. So we're going to try to make a more focused effort to make sure that we get you this kind of information, because we kind of gloss over this and then expect you to know how to do it. And I'm going to make sure that we do a little bit more focused effort. If there's something that I'm missing, or you're like, hey, I really don't want to...
The cones.
What do you mean the cones? You mean the ball spotting pucks? Yeah, you'd grab that right when he gave you your game card. So go get your cones, make sure you have both your flags, bean bag, down indicator, stopwatch for whoever's working that. So you kind of get all that with that. Yes, ma'am.
What time did you say you want us to clock in, like before our shift, or did you want us to clock in?
So your shift for soccer would be like 6:15 to 9:30. I'm trying to think when soccer actually is.
Well,
So you would clock in, if I schedule you at 6:15, between 6:10 and 6:15 is when I want you there.
oh, okay.
I know some of you come in, like if you have class or you're grabbing a bite to eat, you might get delayed just a little bit. That's why I build that 15-minute buffer in, is to make sure that we're all there on time. But it is my expectation that you're there at 6:15. But I put in a little bit of the life happens circumstances, and I get it. So just let me know. All right, for my soccer people here, this is a quiz I won it this past week. A goal can be scored directly from an indirect kick. False.
That's why it's called an indirect kick.
Correct. What has to happen for it to be scored in this case?
Another player has to touch it.
Another player has to touch it. Doesn't matter from which team. How do you signal an indirect kick? Boom, right here. You hold this until, all right, indirect kick. Usually it happens on your whistle. You do this until it touches somebody else. Players opposing the kicker of a free kick must be at least how many yards from the ball until it's kicked, unless they are standing on their own goal line between the goalpost. 10 yards. Now, here's the kicker. If I foul and you want to play right away, you can go ahead and play right away, then I don't have to be 10 yards. But if you stop and say, I want 10 yards, now we play on the whistle. So if you do that, all right, hold it. March off your 10. For my flag football people, I showed 1 or 2 people how to count 10 yards. This is not a yard. This is a yard. So think your normal stride and go further. So my normal stride's, I think, like 30-some inches. I really don't know that for a fact, but I know. And when I stride out a little bit further, when I did flag football or when I played golf and measure out yardage, I stride a little bit further. So you do the same thing. Don't go be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you're probably 15 feet away. That's not good. If a team leads by 4 or more goals at or inside the final 2 minutes of the second half, the game is what? Over, not over, play on, not play on?
This one is just like, you can continue if it's only 4, but if you get within like, if it's 10 goals, then it's done.
Yep, 10 or more under 5.
Yeah.
I think. I forget what my mercy rule is. I know it's 10 or more at that point in time.
It's 10 or more than 2, 15 or more than 5.
Yeah, so 10 or more at 2, 15 at 5. It seems like I need to change that. But so if it's 4, we keep playing. A kicker may take the result of an attempt or attempt if what?
I think this was in reference to a penalty kick because we had like a drop-down menu.
What was on the drop? I didn't see this on the drop-down menu.
Sounds more confusing.
Yeah, I think
I think I answered both of them wrong.
I think the question was like if the goalie makes it. I think one of the answers was if the goalie makes an infraction or something.
If the goalie makes an infraction and they still score on that infraction, let it happen. If they don't, you replay the kick. So I'm glad you provided clarity because I was like copy paste right before I got up here. This is probably in reference to overtime in the shootout, and they're given 5. So good. All right, flag football people. Flag guarding and pass interference requires contact in order to be called. True. They require contact. So back in the old days, meaning 2 years ago, it didn't require contact. I could face guard, I could swing and miss. So in order for a penalty to happen, after the ball has been snapped, there has to be contact on the defense for the defensive pass interference.
Because like people flag guard, but they don't touch them.
That's not flag guarding.
That's not flag guard?
Nope. So if Jude goes to pull my flags and I go like this and I swing and miss at him, or I go like this and he tries to go around my hand, that's on him.
So what about the rule when they're like running with the ball down?
That's not contact at all, but that's still flag guard.
Got to be contact. So my advice is if he's going to go reach and I go put my flag down, he's better off just hit my hand. Even if it's out of the way, even if I'm like back here, he swats and hits my hand. Guess what? There's contact. It's flag guarding. Now I'm not saying the players are going to be that good. However, we got to have contact. Now if you're like, hey, it's close, flag. But if you clearly see a swing and a miss, we don't have flag guarding or pass interference. The game you're officiating has gone bad. I hope not. You decide that you should have a captain's meeting. When is the best time to have this captain's meeting? I know there were options there, but
It was the closest one to the start.
as early as you can have it. I always tell the story, when I was in grad school, we had the 5 steps. That's where I carried it over from grad school, because that's where I kind of stole it from. You know, it's the quiet word, the public warning, the captain's meeting, unsportsmanlike or yellow card, and then a red card or ejection. So what I would do is get it early. Because what happened in grad school, we were playing basketball. We were with about 4 minutes to go in the game. They stopped the clock, and they brought the captains together. And they're like, hey, so it's getting a little chippy out there, a little rough. Can you guys clean it up? And we were like, what the are you talking about? We knew it was rough because obviously we know the pulse of the game. It didn't get any better. early on, I think it was second quarter with like 5 minutes to play. You take care of your team. You take care of your team, because if you don't, we will. And if they don't handle their business, guess what? You handle the business. That could be yellow cards. It could be red cards. But as soon as you draw that line, that's where it stops. And you've got to be able to card it. I would always err on the side of yellow or an unsportsmanlike before a red card, because that's tough to defend. Hey, I gave him a warning and then I ejected the kid. What did the kid say? They dropped the F-bomb once. They tell you you're effing terrible and something else? No, they just scream the F-bomb after they overshot the goal. I can't do that. But if you give them a yellow card, then they go at another player and say you effing suck, you can defend ejecting that player after you give them a yellow card. So just remember that. 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties on a player will result in ejection of that player, and 3 unsportsmanlike penalties on a team will end the game. The key is unsportsmanlike. Some dude ties his flag belt. He's going to get ejected, obviously. That's not unsportsmanlike. Somebody does something, they wear flag belts with pockets. That's not unsportsmanlike. Taunting, baiting, all that's unsportsmanlike. For my soccer people, 2 unsportsmanlikes pretty much ends the game right now in playoffs. Flag people, 2 unsportsmanlikes probably going to end the game. I should say 2 ejections, not unsportsmanlike. 2 ejections will end a game for conduct. So in soccer, I know we've got 4 days left. If they do something stupid and they get 2 people ejected, that's not sliding. Sliding is not conduct. Then we'll end the game. So we got to remember that. And if we have to get together and talk about that, let's talk about it. Because what I don't want is us to end the game 5 minutes into the game because you slid with contact and you slid with contact. Now, if you slid with contact, we're probably going to end the game because you don't know how to keep your feet. Usually the one person, that's fine. If they go at it with an attempt to hurt somebody, that's conduct. And we'll show a play here that is borderline. There cannot be a pass interference penalty. There cannot be pass interference if the receiver catches the ball. So we can't have that penalty if they receive the ball. All right, so if I shove Jude, he catches the ball and I deflag him 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage. What are that captain's options?
You said 5 yards?
I shove him right when he gets off, the ball goes in the air, I shove him, he catches it, I deflag him 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
Take it 15 yards from the previous spot.
Do we have 15-yard penalties?
10.
There you go. All right.
You can do
Take
it.
from the previous spot or take the result of the play.
Bam, there you go. And you can take, those your 2 options. Basically, you look at the captain and be like, here you go. Pass interference defense, 10 yards from the previous spot, replay the down. Don't even let them have that other option. But they may want that option, but don't let them have that option.
Touchdown or something.
Touchdown's different, because then if you have a foul on a scoring play, you not put that in the succeeding spot. So there's a little bit on that. When administering a penalty, you should announce the foul, ask the other team, then go to the new spot, and then signal.
Order.
Signal.
Silently. Ask.
Go.
Enforce it. What's the last part of that one? Announce it. So I come out if I have that pass interference. I give the signal. Go to the captain. What's your choice? He or she makes their decision. Go march it off. Pass interference, defense, 10 yards from the previous spot, replay second down. Or pass interference on the defense, that penalty is declined. They take the result of the play, third down. Something like that is what you want to do. If there's an inadvertent whistle, please don't have inadvertent whistles. What options does the offense have?
They can replay it down.
All right, so let's break this down 2 different ways. I'm running with the ball. You think I got deflagged. You blow your whistle. I keep running. What are my options?
Spotted it, inverted.
So spot where you blew the whistle. What's the second option? There's 2 options on the run play.
Play it down.
Or-
Hold it down
Replay the hold down.
from the previous spot.
What if the ball is in the air? You inadvertently blow your whistle because you're trying to run down the field with the whistle in your mouth, which is not what you're supposed to do, but you blow the whistle, people stop, and the ball's caught and run for a touchdown.
They don't have the option to take them and go.
So their only option is to replay the down. Please keep the whistle out of your mouth. I was one of those people when I was officiating. I did this twice. I'm running down the field watching for flag guarding, watching all this other stuff. I see swipe, 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 and I'm like, beep. And here the girl goes running down the field. I'm like, son of a... Oof. So what I do? My bad. So then I gave him the option.
I got a question.
Yeah.
If there's like a judgment call, because this happened last week, like Grant was like inadvertently, but like they didn't stop the Grant.
So run me through the example.
The guy, he caught the ball, like
Bless you.
he kind of got wrapped up at it, like he went for the flag, but let's say he went for the flag, he missed.
Okay.
And Grant blew his whistle, can't run, and everybody kept playing. And I saw that. So like I gave them 3 options instead of 2. I gave them end of the run, inverted, or replay it down.
So
The flag got pulled like 5 yards after the inverted, so they kept playing.
So my question is, let's say I go to wrap that person up, and you blow your whistle, and I look at you, and then you come in and pull his flags. Did we not affect the play by blowing the whistle, me stop and look at the official, but you pulled the flags 3 or 4 yards downfield? Did we not impact that play?
Yes.
So we cannot give them option number 3. I understand where you're coming from. However, there's only 2 options in this scenario. You basically look at them and be like, now if it's between here, bless you, I need to walk, I'll stand over here. I mean, if there's a difference between here and here and the flag was pulled, bam, you're down right here. This is your option. But if it's between here and way over there, it's this or replay the down. So
The main reason why I did it because it was 4th, and they got the first. That was the main reason why I did it.
but see, if I'm the defensive player and I'll be like, you blew your whistle and I stop.
They won't say that because nobody heard it but like 2 people. That's why. But he came out on the field like he had to get it.
Bless you.
He could have just.
I don't know if it's me, it's you. No, I get what you're saying. Basically, at that time, if you're the referee and you're quote unquote the crew chief, or you're on the field and you're like, this ain't right, get together, talk about it, be like, they get 2 options. And if you're on my crew and you're like, hey, let's give them a 3rd, can we do that by rule? No. Because the thing I look at is when I do basketball or baseball, and we have this situation where something happens and my partner makes a mistake or I make a mistake, and I go to him and be like, all right, we effed up. What are our options by rule? And it's this or this, or whatever the number of options that we have. And a lot of times it's going up to the coach and be like, here's what's going to happen. This or this. This we go to the captain. You get one of these 2 options. The other team's complaining, nope, you get these 2 options. Don't worry about them. And a lot of times when I do basketball or baseball, it's like, we screwed up. And then you got to let them chew a little bit on you because they're mad. I usually go up and be like, you're going to be mad at this one. I let them have a little bit more rope before I'd normally team up. And what I always say is, when I walk away or when we break this conversation, we're done with it. Because if I leave and you start chewing on me, I'm going to sit your butt down. Or give them an unsportsmanlike in the case of football. So, but yeah, I understand where you're coming from. Just go by the rule book. All right. So, soccer, we're finishing up playoffs. We talked about a lot of this. The big thing right here is be assertive and be confident in your calls, your whistles, your mechanics. We'll show a play where we'll have a play where they're not really sure what was called. You need to step in, you need to use your voice, you need to use your whistle. Be a good partner, and then remember our steps in handling conflict. All subs for me next week, not necessarily this week, next week, are going to come through me. So I will assign probably 6 people to work next week, maybe 8. I don't remember how the schedule shakes out. But 6 or 8 are going to work. But the biggest thing is be a good partner, be assertive, and be confident. It goes a long way to have that. Flag football, guess what? Call penalties. I said who initiates contact, where is the contact marginal? If I initiate the contact, penalty's got to be on me. Same in soccer. If I initiate contact, it's on me. if the contact is marginal that we can get by with either talking to the player or not putting a flag on it because it's incidental or marginal, doesn't impact the play, let's not put a flag on it. I get it, you throw a flag, it takes about a minute to enforce the penalty. That's a minute less that you actually have to watch game action. Yeah, let's see if we can keep flags in our pocket. Because how many people like watching football on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, where that flag is out all the time?
That's the only reason I watch.
There was one I watched I don't know if it was last week or the week before. It was like they were getting down to the last 2 minutes of the half, and it was like flag, next play, flag, next play. It was like 6 flags in a row, and I'm like, this sucks. They were all there. I'm not saying the penalties aren't there, but it was terrible. No, this is in the NFL.
Oh, we had
This is in the NFL.
last 5 minutes lasted 10 because there was literally no
So, no, I don't think it was a Browns game.
It was a long half.
Working with players as we start football playoffs on Tuesday next week with Greek. And then Thursday goes back to regular season for everybody else, but we are starting playoffs on Tuesday. Remember the steps in handling the conflict? Always find a friend on the field. I love working back judge. Whenever I've worked, I was like, back judge. 1, I wasn't the referee to be like, everybody's watching me, but 2, if something was effed up, I went in and saved the crew. So I'd be like, I'd talk to this player and talk to this player and make sure that they were taking care of their teams. And then when they were wanting options, I was like, well, they threw a flag for illegal contact, probably get pushed back 10 from the spotted foul. Now he knew what was going on. But hey, we're good. Yeah, we'll take the penalty before the referee could even ask. So find that friend or 2 on the field. And they'd be like, hey, help me out with this person back here. Help me out with that person right there. They're starting to get a little chippy. I appreciate their competitiveness. It's going a little far. If you can compliment them, hey, they made a heck of a catch on that last one. Just tell them spiking the ball is not a good celebration. Something like that. I know that's unsportsmanlike conduct. Work positions you're comfortable with. So if you haven't worked referee, I don't expect you Tuesday night when we have Greek playoffs to go out there and work referee. Work the ones you're comfortable with. Now, if you're like, hey, all I worked was field judge all year, A, get out of field judge. B, try to spread that around a little bit. And the other thing is we're uploading video to Zoom. No, I did not misspell Zoom. That's a new software we have. So you're going to start getting invites hopefully tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon. Our video that we put up there is going to Zoom. Soccer, unfortunately, didn't have a group that we could put you to, but we're starting to upload all of that video. So if you want to go back and watch any of the games that you videoed, I'm going to try to compile who's on what field to make sure that we can send you, hey, go look at this. And we'll send out call sheets with it as well. So we're working through that. As you can see, I take the video, I clip it, and I put it up here. It's for you to learn. We were at a basketball meeting Monday night, and people were like, well, these guys suck because these guys didn't do. I had to stand up because they were our officials that were on video, and I was like, listen, you cannot say this about these people. It's a learning tool. If you do something that looks funny or does something that makes us laugh, all right, we'll laugh at. We'll laugh at the play, not necessarily at you, and then we'll move forward. There was somebody I picked on about 3 years ago. He was in every play. You've seen Jackson Fuller's on a lot of flag football stuff. There's somebody that he just happened to be on video every week. And every week we'd bring something in. And he felt like he was picking on him. We weren't. He had some good calls, he had some bad calls. So that's what we're doing here. All right, so we're going to go through some plays. I think I get 8 of them. We'll go then, we'll pair up 2, 4, 6, 8. We'll pair up or have a third because you're going to play Kahoot it together as a team. So we'll work on this here in just a minute. All right, so my first play. A lot of these were from the weekly update, so if you didn't see them, guess what? You're going to see them now. All right, so flag football people. I know I'm picking on you right now. Right out the chute. So this happens right here. We got nothing there. You remember this play? You do now that we have you on video.
No, I remember this game.
Oh, it was Fat Man.
Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago maybe.
So right here, what we have is we have this hold and a D flag. Let's see if I can stop this at the right time that I want to. So his left hand, I don't know if he intentionally went to grab the jersey or the shirt in this case, and try to pull, but he intentionally was trying to stop him. As I said in the weekly update is, he grabs with the left to stop the player and deflags with the right. If I go to deflag and I go down the back or the side and I go down the shirt, down the shorts and the flag pops off, we're fine. Or if I go to pull and it goes like this and nothing comes off and you see the jersey extend but it doesn't slow me down, that's not holding. This is holding because of the fistful of shirt right here and then the flag pull. It's two different actions. If they're running, you go like this and the player goes like this, that's holding. But if I'm running, you see this and nothing else happens, that's not holding. So it's the difference in how it affects the offensive player. Yes?
It's really just if it like holds the player back. Because
if it
you
impedes,
see a lot of pulling, but like the only time that I've called it is when there's like the player like ends up like jumping back because
if it impedes their progress. So in this one goes 10 yards from this spot, and we replay this down. So they're going to gain. They're probably going to get a first down on this by the time this one ends. So at the end of this play, if this player doesn't see a flag on the field, he's going to be mad because he knows he was held. Because he's already looking up like, where's it at? So we need to be aware of if we don't call this a hold because we don't believe it impedes, so we have that light tug of the jersey and then a D flag, we need to step in and we need to say something to him. Hey, it was a good flag pull. To let them know you saw that play. All right, my soccer people.
Everybody was like, why is that not a foul?
This is I think the second video we have, so we'll watch it again. My supervisors wanted a foul on here. So watch this right here, little hand fighting, still some more hand fighting. How many of you have a penalty on this? I don't have a penalty on this. I'll tell you why. Normal soccer, playoffs, normal soccer move. I'm fine with that. There's nothing there.
Everybody was like, why is that not?
Now, if one of them happens to go down from all of this, we may have a penalty. But I think we have a good look. And is this you? It's Bree. So Bree's got a pretty good look on this one. Are you on the other side? Okay, I wasn't sure. I didn't know who the other official in this game was. They've got a good look on both sides of it. So I don't have a penalty. We're hustling up the field, which is what we want to see. I hope the other official's somewhere right about here on the field around the 40. So they should start to go right now. All right, back to my flag, people. This one happened somewhere on the line, somewhere around here on the line. Yep, right there. So, this is, I believe Sid's my referee here. I clipped this one a little longer than I should have. Well, hopefully we'll watch it again. So right here, you could have had a false start right here on this guy that's splitting hairs. So if you watch this, he's still moving, he's fine. Could have had a false start, I wouldn't. But it's this guy right here. So he creates the contact, he puts him to the floor, or to the ground. So in this case, he throws a penalty nonchalantly. I love it, just like, yeah, you screwed up. So then what he does is he didn't hit his spot. Picks it up, puts it to the spot. Why does he put it to the spot? What?
A lot of times so you can reference it better. Because if you need to move it back, if it needs to be enforced from the spot.
Where's this penalty enforced from?
That would be
Contact by the offense. It's from the spot because it hurts him the most, right? Normally any contact will go from, and it's a pass play, any contact would go from the puck. But since this hurts the offense the most, we put him back from right here. And then he explains what he needs to do. All right, back to my soccer people. Watch it again. So we have a little bit of contact. We have a penalty. He's not happy about something. Maybe he's frustrated from before. Maybe it's because he got the ball taken away. He pushes. The penalties, nothing about the penalty I have an issue with. We see this. She's in good position. She needs to take a step in and point and say red and take a step in and use her voice to say red. And then they know, this guy knows that she saw it, they called it, and if anything else happens from this guy, they're gonna get this guy. Because he knows. And then the other thing is, you mentally think, all right, when Zero's in any of my plays, he's on my game F or upper. He's not going to cause me problems. So I remember his number, because if there's a slide or contact, I want to know where he is, because he's my game F or upper. All right, back to my flag, people. Watch this one again. Remember, you don't signal on that one. You're on the line of scrimmage, you're the referee. It's not your area. You're watching this guy right here. Watch, watch, watch. You do a good job rolling with him. You stay with him. You should be almost on top of him at that point in time, because the quarterback's always your responsibility until he gets beyond line of scrimmage, because he's no longer the quarterback. So you always roll with him or her. In this case, him. You stay with that person, because if something happens here where they get taken out, you need a set of eyes, because he's going down with this one. This could also be the back judge's call. Field judge, I don't know who the field judge. It's a long distance call. So you don't ever. Nope. Nope.
I thought we were supposed to mirror the signals from the other left.
Nope.
Else on the other side.
Nope. Nope.
Oh.
I don't know who taught you that. It wasn't me. I promise you it wasn't me. It wasn't me. No, you do not say Andy said that, because that is false. So, all right, let's back to the play at hand here. So, on this play, dude gets taken out. In flag football, can we have that kind of contact? No. So what we need here is either this one or this one. I don't think you as field judge can have this penalty unless you can see it 100%. But I said this is illegal contact because touch, taken to the ground. Now, if they both go up 50-50 for the ball and you rule it incidental, that's when you come in, good hustle, good hustle. Easy up. That's where you want to insert yourself to help out.
Did he get your hands on the ball?
Huh?
Did he get it? Because I felt like he went around. Like he at least, like.
But it looks like
he kind of did like a.
But he looks like he's around his waist right there, right?
But did he really mean to? I don't know.
It doesn't matter. You can't judge intention. We can only judge what happened. I didn't intend to punch the kid in the face. His face happened to meet my fist. I put it out like this. He ran into it. Probably not going to work in a court of law.
I swear I was punching in the air.
Yeah. I was just going down MMA fighter, getting ready to go into the ring, and he happened to step in front of me. But it looks like here he's in a vulnerable position. Ball's already by because the ball's right here, and it looks like his arms are around. You're right. He could try to go around it, but guess what? He creates contact. It's still illegal contact.
Not my call.
I know it's not your call, but you want to debate the play. So, what I would say on this one is, this is probably right here. This is probably right here. If you rule it incidental contact, or you rule it not enough contact to have a foul, he needs to step in. He needs to step down this way. He needs to come running in to players on the ground if you're both signaling. Incomplete, incomplete. Good hustle. Easy up. Whatever it is.
You're saying if we don't really feel the need to call it, but we could just let them know
Yeah. So
tune it down.
So take for instance this play right here. It's a play where we have players on the ground looking for a call. We know this going into it, after all this happens. We know that two players, well, and him, but these two players are on the ground because there was some form of contact, or there was a play that brought them to the ground, that there could potentially be a flag. we need to know, as officials, we need to be smart enough to know that he may be looking for something. But if you step in, easy up, clean play. It was a clean play. Then they know you're looking at the play. But I think this is illegal contact. I think he brings him down. And after seeing the play previous to this one, I don't know which one was first, but seeing the previous illegal contact or the holding play, we know that may not be the case. So, all right, my soccer folks. We've seen this one already. That's absolutely a red card. You could argue with me that this might be from the field of vision. You're not going to argue that he didn't make contact. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. That's from behind, that's with contact in my mind. And it eliminates a scoring opportunity.
There's so many things wrong with that.
There are 3 red cards in that one. From behind, with contact, it eliminates a scoring opportunity. We're gonna get this person. And yellow's already mad because they had a breakaway. So we need to have a whistle, which we do, and the official eventually comes in. Well, I need, when this one goes, we need somebody down here because I think the trail is on this side and the lead was supposed to be on this side. Oh, there's Jay. Okay, so he's kind of with the play. That's good. So, yep. All right, I'm good with Jacob. Sorry, I thought he was just another yellow player. So no, we're good. He's in decent position going up the field. So that's not a problem. But this official right here can turn and be like, hey, we got it. We'll take care of it. So, all right. My last flag play. What you have here? This is from last year. I'll just play one more time. What you have?
Flag card.
All right. Anybody have anything different? So I got nothing, and I got a flag guard.
I think it's flag guard. I don't think she makes contact. Yeah, he's extended like that.
But it looks like he's trying to come from behind her.
Nobody. Well, she fell.
But I think it's not right there.
All right. So to me, it looks like there's potential for flag guarding right here, as this player tries to go for the flags. But the other thing that I look at is, if he doesn't get the flags, how does she go to the ground? Is she pushed, trying to get the flags?
I think she tripped. Well, it looks like she tripped.
Her right arm. It's right there.
Or
So
Twisted it.
on that.
now, I put this play up here because there's multiple parts to this. Potential flag guard, potentially nothing, and a potential illegal contact on the push by this player right here. So, 2 flags. To me, I think they call it illegal flag guarding right there on it. Oops. I think they get flag guarding on this player right here. So I think they call flag guarding. So if the one flag comes in right here for flag guarding, this one calls for illegal contact, we would offset them. So if we do have this, possible flag guard right there, possible illegal contact for the shove down. We just need to know. So, all right, my last play. For my soccer folks here. I don't know why he's putting his hands up acting like he wants a call. What I want you to see here is, I don't necessarily have anything wrong with this play as far as a foul. This official needs to be away from that play. Because you think about it, the closer you get to the play, the narrower your field of vision goes. If he ends up, this is a play from last year, if he takes his vision back a little bit, he can now open it up and see everything. I think he's supposed to be here, actually. I think he's the lead in this play. Regardless, you should not be on top of this play. Work yourself up and down that line. All right? Questions? All right, so our last meeting is November 13th. I will more than likely order pizza for that one, so, almost everybody will show up because I want pizza. So I'll have pizza and maybe drinks. It'll be the last one. I will give away at least a book bag, if not a few more things. some way, shape, or form. For my flag football people, we host a regional flag football tournament November 22nd to the 24th. If you are interested in officiating that, please let me know, because we usually take one, if not two, of our officials to do it. I think this year it'll be one, because we cut down our officials' numbers, where you'll officiate with people from across the Southeast and be evaluated by people like me from other universities. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's an all-weekend event. So if you're interested, shoot me an email and I can give you more details. It is paid $50 for the weekend, and you get more information. All right, who in here just does soccer? Raise your hand. So 3. Who just does flag football?
I know both.
I know you know both. So, all right. For those of you that just do soccer, pair up with somebody who just does flag football.
You do just flag football?
This because you're going to be on the team.
Scoop next to let me move my bag.
I hate you. You're sure with us too.
All right.
Good one, Jim.
Pull out your phones.
I think I would. Yeah.
You're gonna. Come on now. It's 6. All right. So pull this up. Go to Kahoot.it. I love this music. Nope, just one.
I got it.
So just one. Create yourself a team. Shouldn't have left this up here for me. Create yourself a team. Basically, there are 6 questions. The reason I put you together is because you need to know some more answers.
If you don't need the candy, I will. So it's just, this isn't a loss for me. I'm bringing it tonight for my shift too, so.
You realize I got a 14-month-old son that's probably going to go trick-or-treating tomorrow night, and guess who can't eat candy? Him. All right. Is this working?
Press AD.
There you go.
Let's get it.
Man, I wonder who Quentin and Kendall is.
Yeah, what is that?
Dude, I've never played COD.
All right, here we go. It'll actually give you a couple seconds to look at it because it's a team. For these, make sure you answer the questions. Again, it's the quicker you answer, the more points you get.
Which one it is? Like,
You'll be able to read the question. For this, the winning group will come down. Will be up. What?
like before the question pops up, let's say, is it soccer or football?
I feel like it might be obvious.
Yeah, which?
It'll be obvious. Because I think I put in flag football or in soccer or something like that.
It's a red card. It's
All right, here we go. Are you ready?
6 questions.
6 questions. What is minimum number of players required to start a men's or women's flag football game? You're allowed to answer in 2, 1. Go ahead and answer. Somebody hasn't clicked yet. It is 2. I'm sorry, it's 4. Sorry, I looked at 2. It's 4. My bad. And men's and women's, it's 4. And co-rec, it's 5. So, men's or women's.
That's what I was thinking. All
English.
together. Yeah.
Remember, the winner of this gets a prize. I don't know what it is yet, but you get a prize. Kahooties. All slides from behind require an immediate whistle. True or false? All slides from behind require an immediate whistle.
What? Wait. Oh.
Why? Exactly. So in the play that you saw, if there's an advantage, we play that advantage, and then we go back and penalize them.
Probably want to get the most opportunities. Yes, sir.
Candy buckets in the lead. All right. A team must accept the yardage of any penalty. This is going to be true or false. No, I did not trick you up this time. So it's always true on the left, false on the right. True or false? Wow. Why would they decline the yardage of a penalty?
If it doesn't benefit them.
So if they have a short first down coming up, so if they get deflagged just short of a yard line, 2 yards before the next line to gain,
It's still an automatic first, right?
It would either replay or automatic, depending what the penalty is. All right. A team may play with 5 males and 2 females, and a male must be the goalkeeper. This can be true or false. It is false. We changed that rule this year to where the goalkeeper can be of the lesser gender.
And so every single night there's at least one person asking if the goalie counts as part of the ratio. Every single night there's somebody.
Just 5. They need 5 and 4, and that's doesn't matter how they. At least 2, and a maximum of 5. So they can play 5 and 2, and the goalkeeper can be either one of those. So it's whoever's on the field. All right, question 6. A tied flag belt is an automatic ejection. This is true or false? I gave you the answer a little bit earlier in the day. That is true. It's an automatic ejection. Now,
How did I press the wrong one? I knew the answer.
if they tie their flag belt, that's okay. They're just ejected. They don't have to leave the complex. Candy buckets is on fire. I think you're going to take this one home. All right. A goalkeeper may move before the ball is kicked on a penalty kick. This is true or false? They can move.
Yeah, what?
So, what did you just say?
They can move side to side, but they can't jump off their line.
So if they come in front of it before the ball is kicked, that's a penalty, and or a foul or a violation. We have to redo that one.
If they were to sit on the left side of the goal and leave the rest of it open.
Yeah.
They just stand.
So, Candy Buckets takes it home.